Good morning, dear learner. I welcome you on behalf of School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Dear learner, today we are going to discuss topic that is type of DC machines. So as you know, DC machine is basically of two types. It can be classified as DC motor or DC generator. So before the starting of this topic, first of all, I would like to congratulate Happy Engineers Day. So today, why Engineers Day is celebrated, we are going to discuss this also. Slide again. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed the construction and working principle of the DC machines. Today we are going to discuss about the type of the DC machine. So dear learner, as you know, today is Engineers Day. So I would like to congratulate Happy Engineers Day. The engineering community across India celebrates Engineers Day on 15 September every year as a tribute to the greatest Indian engineer Bharat Ratna Sir M. Viswaraya. The Bharat Ratna awardee Sir Viswaraya was born on September 15, 1861 in a village called Mudenhali in Karnataka. He studied Bachelor of Art from the University of Madras and pursued then civil engineering at the College of Science in Pune. Dr. Viswaraya patented and installed an irrigation system with water flood gates at the reservoir near Pune to raise the food supply level and storage to the highest level. This was also installed at Gwalior's Tigra Dam and Mysuru Krishna Raja Sagra Dam. It was one of the largest reservoirs in Asia at the time. While serving as a Diwan of the Mysore, he was awarded Knight in 1915 as a commander of the British India Empire by the King George V. M. Viswaraya received the Bharat Ratna in 1955 and became a member of the London Institution of Civil Engineers before he was awarded a fellowship by the Indian Institute of Science, that is IISc Bangalore. Sir M. Viswaraya was the eminent engineer and Dr. Viswaraya passed away in 1962. So today is his birth anniversary, and on the occasion of his birth anniversary, Engineers Day is celebrated. So happy Engineers Day to you. Now we are going to discuss the topic that we are going to discuss type of the DC machines. So DC machine can be classified as DC motor and DC generator. So as I already told you that DC generator is that system in which mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy, that is called generator. And just reverse of this, in which electrical energy is given and it converts into mechanical energy, that is called DC motor. So first of all, we are going to discuss classification of the DC generator. So DC generator can be classified as separately excited DC generator. What do you mean by this separately excited? That means the field is excited by the another system. That's why it is called separately excited DC generator. Then second classification may be classified as self-excited DC generator. So self-excited, as name is indicating, that means the field of the system is excited by the self-generated supply, right? And this self-excited DC generator can again be classified as shunt-bound DC generator, series-bound DC generator, compound-bound DC generator. Shunt-bound DC generator means what? Means field binding is connected across the armature, or you can say in the parallel of the armature. That's why that is called shunt-bound DC generator. Second is a series-bound DC generator. Series-bound DC generator is a generator in which field binding is connected in series with the armature of the generator. That is called series-bound DC generator. The third is called compound-bound DC generator. So as name is indicating compound, that means it is a mix of shunt and series. That means it will have two type of binding, series binding and shunt binding. So this compound bound DC generator can again be classified as long shunt compound wound generator and short shunt compound wound generator. Next type of DC generator may be classified as permanent magnet type DC generator. So as name is indicating, permanent magnet. That means whatever field is generated in case of this type of generator, that field be generated with the help of the permanent magnet. Unlike other type of generator in which field will be generated by the auxiliary supply, right? So except this generator, there are also permanent magnet type DC generator. In this generator, no field binding is placed around the poles. The field produced by the poles of the machines fairly remains constant. Although these machines are very compact but are used only in small size like dynamos in the automobiles. The main disadvantage of this machine is that flux produced by the magnets deteriorates with the passage of the time. That changes the characteristic of the machines. Now we are going to discuss one by one different type of DC generator. So first one is separately excited DC generator. So here you can see in the diagram, here this field is separately excited. That means this field is excited by the auxiliary supply. So here you can see this is a DC battery. So the flux produced by the poles depends upon the field current within the unsaturated region of the magnetic material of the poles. So whatever the field is being generated across this binding, it will be directly proportional to the field current. So as field current will increase, that means value of the flux will also increase. But in the saturated region, what happens? The flux remains constant. So as it is a separately excited DC generator, here you can see that means field is separately excited. Now here you can see this load is connected in series with the armature. So whatever the current flowing through load, that is IL, is equal to the armature current IA. So you can write IA is equal to IL. So now we have to find out the equation of the terminal voltage. So here you can see that terminal voltage is equal to what? Just you apply the KVL in this particular loop, that is A, B, C, D. So you can start from here. So voltage generated by this DC generator is equal to what? EZ, that is denoted by E suffix Z. And here you can notice that armature will have some armature resistance, that is, it can be denoted as RA, which is the value of this armature resistance is very less, nearly 0.005 or 0.007. So just you can start from here. So you can write EZ minus IARA, because current is flowing in the armature, so there will be some voltage drop in the armature resistance. So you can write EZ minus IARA is equal to what? That is V. So terminal voltage V is equal to what? EZ minus IARA. Now here you can notice there is a brush also, and brush will have also some resistance. So it will have also some drop. Just you can consider that voltage drop across is V suffix V. So here you can notice there is a two brush. So voltage drop is equal to what? 2 multiplied by V suffix V, right? So final equation of the terminal voltage can be written as V equal to what? V can be written as EZ minus IARA minus 2VV, right? So this is a equation of the terminal voltage. Now suppose you have to find out the how much power is developed. So power is what? Power is nothing but it is a product of voltage and current, right? So what is a voltage? By voltage generated by this DC generator, that is EZ, and current flowing is IA. So power developed by this DC generator is equal to what? EZ into IA. And what is the power output? Power output means power across the load. So here load is connected. So power is, again, it is a product of voltage and current. And what is a voltage? Voltage is a terminal voltage, that is a V. So V multiplied by IL is the power output. So this is a separately excited DC generator. Now we are going to discuss self-excited DC generator. A DC generator whose field winding is excited by the current supplied by the generator itself is called a self-excited DC generator. So, in a self-excited DC generator, what happens? The field coils may be connected in parallel with the armature. It may also be connected in the series with the armature. It may also be connected partly in series and partly in parallel with the armature winding. So this is all about the self-excited DC generator. Now one by one we are going to discuss the self-excited DC generator. As I already told you that self-excited DC generator can be classified as shunt bound generator, series bound generator, compound bound generator. So first of all we are going to discuss shunt bound generator. So here you can see why it is called shunt bound, because the field winding of the armature is connected in parallel with the armature. That's why it is called shunt bound generator. So here you can notice that this shunt field winding resistance is connected between terminal F and E, which is parallel with the terminal B and A. And between terminal B and A there is a DC generator which have armature resistance RA is connected. So if you want to calculate what is the value of this field current ISH, because whatever the flux will be generated, this flux is directly proportional to the field current. And what is the field current? Field current is ISH. So this shunt field current ISH can be written as V upon RSH, because voltage across terminal F and E is what? This voltage, V voltage. So ISH can be written as V upon RSH. Now here you can notice this armature current is divided in two paths, that is load current and shunt field current. So this IA can be written as IA is equal to IL plus ISH. Now what is the equation of this terminal voltage V? So this V can be written as EG minus IARA is equal to V. And if you are considering the voltage drop across brush, that here again there is a two brush. So voltage drop across single brush is V suffix V. So total voltage drop across voltage brush brush is what? 2 V suffix V. So final equation for the terminal voltage V can be written as EG minus IARA minus 2VV. And what is the power generated by this armature resistance? The power generated by this armature resistance is nothing but it is a generated voltage multiplied by the armature current, that is EG into IA. And what is the output power? Output power across load is equal to voltage, that is a terminal voltage V multiplied by the load current IL. So power output is equal to what? V into IL. And you have already calculated how to find out the terminal voltage V. V equal to EG minus IAR minus 2VV. Now here we have to understand how the voltage is built up in the DC shunt generator. The shunt generator is basically a self-excited DC generator, as I already told you, whose field winding is supplied with the current from the output of the generator itself, right? However, the question arises how it can supply current to the field winding before the voltage being generated. And if the field current is not supplied, then how can the voltage be generated? So for understanding, you have to understand this circuit diagram. So because it is a self-excited generator, and I am telling that field is generated across the field current, this field winding RSH. Now if there is a no field, so how the voltage is generated? Now question arises this. So let us find out this answer from the following explanation. So as you know, every generator or motor have some residual magnetism. So if any generator have some residual magnetism, that means it has some magnetic properties. So of course it will have some you can say field flux. So and due to this field flux, if this armature is rotated, so as armature rotated in this residual magnetism, so it will generate some induced EMF, and this induced EMF can be denoted as OA. So this OA is generated voltage due to the only residual magnetism, right? And due to this residual magnetism, some current will be flow. That current is equal to what? This current can be written as OB, or it can be shown as OB. Now just you connect this switch K. So due to this residual magnetism, some current OB is there. So as OB current will start to flow through this field winding ISH. Now what will happen? Because now current started to flow this field winding, so of course it will generate some field flux. So this field flux plus residual magnetism will be added. Now value of the field flux is increased. So as value of the field flux is increased, so generated voltage will also increase. So because generated voltage is directly proportional to the field flux, E is equal to P phi N 60 upon ZA. Now due to this field winding and residual, the additional voltage that is generated, it can be shown as OC. Now due to this OC generated voltage, again current will start to flow, and this current, value of this current will increase, and value of this current is equal to what? That is OD. Now again value of the current is increased. So value of the current that is flowing through the field winding is increased. So value of the current, field current is increased, that means value of the field flux has also increased. Now as flux is increased, so generated voltage is increased. Now again this current will be increased, and this phenomena will be the continued till it reaches to the point OE, this voltage OE. So now after the saturation, this generated voltage will be the constant. So this is how the voltage buildup occurs in the DC shunt generator. Now we are going to discuss next self-excited DC generator, that is called series bound generator. As name is indicating, series bound generator, that means field winding is connected in series. So here you can see in this particular diagram, this field winding is connected in series with the armature, right? So field current is what? IF, and IF is directly proportional to the field current, that is ISC. So here you can notice that in case of series bound generator, armature current is equal to field current equal to the load current. So if you want to write the expression of the terminal voltage V, so it can be written as V equal to EG minus IARA minus IAC, or you can write EG minus IA, because this IA and IAC is the same because it is connected in series. So you can write EG minus IA multiplied by RA plus RAC. Now if you are considering the voltage drop across brush is V suffix B, so this equation can be written as V equal to EG minus IA multiplied by RA plus RAC minus 2VV. Again, so what is the power generated by this DC series generator? That is EG into IA, and power output is equal to V into IL. So as you know, the flux developed by series field winding is directly proportional to the current flowing through, that is phi is directly proportional to IAC. However, it is only true before the magnetic saturation, because after the magnetic saturation, the flux will be the constant. Now we are going to discuss compound wound generator. In a compound wound generator, there are two sets of the field winding on each poles, right? One of them is connected in series, having few turns of the thick wire. The other is connected in parallel, having a many turns of the fine wire. So as I already discussed in the previous lecture, why the series field winding having a few turns and the thick wire, reason is only the resistance. If the winding is connected in the series, so it must have the low resistance. If it is connected in the parallel, it must have high resistance. Now we are going to discuss the long shunt compound wound generator. The shunt field winding is connected in parallel with the combination of the both armature and series field winding. Here you can see that this is a armature and this is series field winding is connected between B and D. So this current IAC is equal to what? IA. And here you can see that field winding RSH, which is connected between terminal F and G, is connected across terminal E and A. So this is called long shunt compound generator because the shunt is connected across armature plus series field winding of the compound wound generator. So here you can see that this armature current is divided into two paths, that is a load current IL and another is field current ISH. So if you want to write the equation of the terminal voltage V, so again it can be written as V is equal to what? This can be written as V equal to EG minus IA RA minus ISE into RAC. And what is the value of this field current ISH? ISH is nothing but it is equal to V upon RSH, or you can say EG minus IA into RAC upon RSH. So there is a two way to calculate the value of the field current. One is V divided by RSH, another is EG minus IRA minus IARAC divided by RSH. So what is the voltage of terminal voltage if you are considering the voltage drop across brush V? So there is a 2 brush, so voltage drop across brush is 2 multiplied by V into VV. So V is equal to what? EG minus IARA plus RAC minus 2V suffix V. So again, if you want to calculate to how much power is being generated by this long shunt compound generator, so again it can be written as generated voltage, that is EG, multiplied by the armature current IA. And what is the output power? So output power is nothing but it is a voltage across load, that is a terminal voltage V, multiplied by the load current IL. Now we are going to discuss short shunt compound wound generator. So as I told you that compound wound generator may be classified as long shunt compound wound generator and short shunt compound generator. So here you can notice that difference between short shunt and long shunt is only in the long shunt this field winding was connected at this point, that means between armature and this terminal V. But in case of short shunt compound generator, what happens, the shunt field winding is connected in parallel with only the armature winding, right? So here you can notice in short shunt compound generator the field current IAC and ISH, so it can be written as IA is equal to what? IAC plus ISH. So if you want to write the value of the field current ISH, so it is equal to what? V plus IL into RAC upon RSH. In another term you can write EG minus IARA upon RSH. So this is how you can calculate the value of the shunt field current. And armature current, as I already told you, that IA is equal to ISH plus ISE. IA is equal to ISH plus ISE, or you can say, because ISE is nothing but it is a load current. So terminal voltage V is equal to what? Terminal voltage V equal to EG minus IARA minus ISE into RAC, or you can say IL into RAC. So power generated by this short shunt compound wound generator can be written as EG into IA, and output power can be written as V into IL. Now we are going to discuss cumulative and differential compound generator. Basically it is a long shunt and short shunt compound generator. So in compound wound DC generator, the field is produced by the shunt as well as series winding. Generally the shunt field is stronger than the series field. When the series field assists the shunt field, the generator is called the cumulative compound wound generator. So now we are going to discuss cumulative compound generator. So when series field assists the shunt field, the generator is called cumulative compound generator. Here you can see this is a pole, and because on the pole field winding is placed, so both the winding, shunt winding and series winding are placed. So in the cumulative, both the winding are supportive. So here you can notice that here you can see due to the shunt field current is flowing from this way to this way, And in series field winding, again this current, the direction of the current is the same as in the shunt field current. So if you want to check what is the direction of the flux due to the shunt field and the series field, so it is a downwards. If you want to check the direction of the field, so it can be checked by, like this is a pole, so just you hold in this way. This finger will show the direction of the field. So here you can see this is a finger and this thumb will show the direction of the flux. So here you can notice that flux is, current is in this way, and so this thumb is showing the direction of the flux. So direction of the current due to the shunt field and the series field winding are the same. So direction of the flux is the downwards. That means both the flux are additive in nature. So you can say it is a cumulative. That's why it is called cumulative compound bound generator. So in case of cumulative compound bound generator, the voltage will be the more, because value of the field flux is more, and as you know that generated voltage is directly proportional to the field flux. So here field flux, that is due to the shunt field winding and the series field winding, and both are the additive in nature. So value of the flux is increased, so the generated voltage will also be increased. Next is differential compound bound generator. So when the series field opposes the shunt field, the generator is known as differential compound bound generator. So here you can notice in this pole there is a two field winding are placed, shunt field and series field. So here you can notice the shunt field, due to the shunt field the direction of the current is the same as was in the previous case in the cumulative compound generator, but in case of this differential compound generator the direction of the current is changed due to this series field winding. So due to the shunt field winding, if you are holding like this finger is showing the direction of the current and this thumb will show the direction of the flux. So due to this shunt field winding, the field flux, that is ISH, is the downwards. And due to the field current series field winding, here you can notice the current is flowing in this way. Like this is a pole, suppose, then current is flowing in this way. So just you hold in this way. So this finger is showing the direction of the current, this thumb will show the direction of the flux in this way. So here you can see, or you can notice that direction of the shunt field and series field winding are opposing each other. So net flux is what? Phi SH minus phi SE. So value of the field flux is decreased in case of differential compound generator. So it is understood the generated voltage in differential compound bound generator will also be less in comparison to the compound bound generator. Now very quickly we are going to discuss two numerical problem. A 4-pole DC generator with wave connected armature has 41 slots and 12 conductor per slot. Here you have to notice 12 conductor per slot. That means one slot have 12 conductor. Armature resistance RA is given 0.5 ohm. Shunt resistance is given as 200 ohm. Flux per pole is 125 milliweber. Speed is 1000 rpm. You have to calculate the voltage across 10 ohm load resistance across the armature terminal. So whatever the parameter are given in the example, or you can in question, just you note down, like P equal to 4, RA is equal to this one, RS is equal to 200 ohm, and flux is given 125 milliweber, so it can be written as 125 into 10 to the power minus 3 Weber. Here number of slots are given as 41 and one slot has 12 conductor. So total conductor is equal to what? 41 into 12, that is 492. And because it is wave connected armature, so number of parallel path is what? That is 2. E equal to 2. So generated EMF EZ is equal to what? P phi N 60 upon Z upon A. So just put the value of P phi Z N into A. So after the solving you get the value 2050 volt. Now you have to find out the value of the load current. Value of the load current is equal to what? Value of the load current IL is equal to what? B upon this RL, and value of the load resistance is already given, that is 10 ohm, and V is what? is equal to what? That is, or because you have to find out this terminal voltage, so you can write IL is equal to V upon 10. And shunt field current is equal to what? ISS is equal to V upon RSS. So, and value of RSS is equal to what? 200. So, you can write ISS is equal to V upon 200. So, total current, armature current IA can be written as IL plus ISH. So, value of IL is equal to what? V upon 10 plus V upon 200. So, it comes 2V upon 200. Now, as you know, this equation easy can be written as V plus IARA. So, V can be written as V and I is equal to what? 21 V upon 200 multiplied by 0.005. So, just put the value and replace all these terms. So, after the solving you get value of this terminal voltage, or you can say load voltage, is equal to 1947.74 volt. Second example we are going to discuss. A short cumulative compound DC generator supplies 7.5 kilowatt at 230 volt. The shunt field, series field and armature resistance are 100, 0.3 and 0.4 ohm. So, just you draw the circuit diagram on the basis of the given data. Here you can see that RSH is equal to 100 ohm, armature resistance is 0.4 ohm and field resistance RAC is equal to 0.3 ohm. So, you have to find out the value of the load current. So, load current IL can be written as 7.5 multiplied by 1000, because the rating that is given 7.5 kilowatts. So, 7.5 into 1000 and terminal voltage is given 230. So, after the putting you will get the value of load current, that is 32.61 ampere. So, now you have to find out the value of this shunt field current ISH. So, ISH can be written as V plus IL into RAC upon RSH, and value of terminal voltage V is given 230 plus, and value of load current IL is equal to 32.61 and value of RAC is equal to 0.3 and value of RS is equal to 100. So, it comes 2.39 ampere. So, as you know, here you can notice that I is equal to what? IL plus ISS. So, you have a value of IL, you have value of ISS. Just put the value and add. So, armature current is equal to what? It is 35 ampere. Now, you have to find out this induced EMF EG. So, EG is equal to what? V plus IL RAC plus IARA. So, value of V is equal to 230, IL is equal to 32.61, RAC is equal to 0.3, IA is equal to 35, as you have already calculated, RA is 0.4. So, after the solving you get 253.78 volt. Now, you have to find out the load resistance. So, as you know, this P is equal to what? V square upon R, or you can say, you can write load resistance RL is equal to V square upon P, and you have a value of the terminal voltage V, that is 230, and value of the power is already given 7.5 kilowatt. So, 230 square upon 7.5 into 1000. After the solving you get 7.053 ohm. So, dear learner, in this particular session we have discussed the type of the DC generator. So, it was classified as separately excited DC generator and self-excited DC generator. And self-excited DC generator can again be classified as series bound generator, shunt bound generator and compound bound DC generator. Dear learner, I would like to inform you there is one course, that is a Principle of Electrical Science, is offered through the MOOC or through the SWAYAM. This course, Principle of Electrical Science, covers all the topics of the basic of the electrical engineering. That means it covers the basic circuit theory, it covers all the electrical machines like DC machines, induction machines, synchronous machine, single phase induction motor. Dear learner, if you are interested to join this course, you can go through the swayam.gov.in, and then you will be able to find out the logo of the IGNOU. Then you click the IGNOU and you will find out the different courses. Then you search this course, Principle of Electrical Sciences, and just you have to click and you can join this course. This course is very useful who are interested to upgrade the knowledge in the field of the electrical engineering. Thank you very much.